Hello everyone, it's Leo, and it's time to talk about episode 29 from TWINKLE PRECURE. This was a very interesting episode. It finally showed us Lala's homeland. Saman is a very interesting planet with a very different culture that we got to see a little bit in this episode, and it made Lala very conflicted. But not only Lala, Madoka also reminded a lot of herself and her own dilemmas. And not only that, the plot also moved forward with a very interesting turn of events at the end. I was shocked, and I am still in shock as to what happened, and I think that it's going to be a very interesting tie into the next episode. I can't wait. I hate when Precure does that. I really do. It's a very hard week. But anyways, this episode was also very beautifully drawn. It had like those hard lines when it had close-up in the characters, and it had lots of close-ups. And in general, a treat, not only to the eyes, but for us Precure lovers. It was a great episode. I think Star Twinkle is killing it, no doubt about it. It's delivering week after week. Like a great episode, and then we have another great episode, and I'm just like in awe. But okay, let's talk about this episode. When the girls first get to Saman, I think we had a little problem concerning the plot there, because they couldn't tell that the girls came from Earth, because the Earth is not part of the Star Space Alliance, something like that. I don't remember the name. But since Earth is not part of that, the girls couldn't be there. And the girls were all shocked to learn that at the moment. But why didn't they tell them that beforehand? Like, why didn't they think of a plan when they got to Saman to tell where the girls came from? How did they skip that part into the planning that they did? That was strange, but the AI quickly jumped in, and I feel like this is somewhat of a way of showing that the AI is not totally a machine. It also kind of has feelings as well, because it defended Lala by lying, and that was a very human thing to do, That was a very human thing to do. But then we got to learn about Saman. We got to see that the Lala had to meet her brother, who was going to receive a medal because of his accomplishments, and then the girls went on to Hikaru being the total jerk she is. Like, she's the best, because like we had that intro part, and then she was introducing herself with the intro phrase we have in each episode, and she was getting interrupted like lots of times. It happened already. I think it happened in that Elena episode right at the start, but then it didn't happen again, and then it happened again in this episode. It's comedy gold for me. It was amazing. But I think that Hikaru got a little blind and a little lost in the whole new scenario thing. She was so interested in Saman. She was so interested in learning about the planet and everything, and learning about their culture and seeing things that they do and seeing the machines they use, that she didn't really understand the implications things had. Because then we got to see Lala's family, and then they appeared. They were very happy to see Lala. And Lolo, being the first class investigator, he was able to find a Princess Pen, and he was able to be condecorated because of that, because that's a very important thing. And then after that, I think one of the most important arguments of the episode happened, because we had the Lala's family showing their occupations, and showing that their occupations were chosen by Mother, who is the main AI of the planet. And she chooses the occupations for every single person based on their characteristics and abilities and everything. And so she chose one for her mother, and for her father, and for Lolo, and for Lala. But Lala, while we were having this conversation, Lala wasn't feeling okay. Lala wasn't feeling okay since the start of the idea of going to Saman with the girls, because she had to confront the fact that her family is well succeeded and she's not. And I didn't really think it was because of that, but it is. Now, after seeing this episode, it's clear to see Lala doesn't have like the same ability her family has. They're very good at what they do, and her brother especially, but she's not. She's the lowest class investigator we have. She has motion sickness, so she can't walk into those navigator things. And that's a callback to the first episode in which she was totally sick because of the way they traveled through space with her rocket. And Lala is somewhat of a failure compared to the rest of her family. And I think that she feels bad because of that. And she feels like she has something to prove to them. And at the same time, she can't get out of the mode that was decided for her. She needs to be an investigator because that's what Mother chose her to do. Like, it chose for her. Her destiny's chosen. Like, people in Saman have their destinies chosen. And at that time, we could see Madoka was not feeling okay with that as well. And Hikaru was feeling like it was the best thing ever. I mean, I feel like Hikaru loses her critical sense every time something new comes up because she's so interested in that. And that kind of irritated me a little bit in this episode, you know? I feel like this is so weird. Like, not only for me, but, you know, in general, it's so weird thinking that you have like something that you're set to do and you cannot escape from that because society needs to work on that way. And also someone is very clear on how they need to work on results. So everything that's not supposed to give results is simply not done. And then we had another beautiful scene in which the girls visited the beautiful place that can change. That's a name for that, like an observatory kind of. It's a recreation site, I guess. And then it could change into any planet. And then we had a beautiful moment in which Hikaru was playing with Elena. Elena in this episode was so hidden, but it was, you know, she had her moments. She had her moments, especially when Hikaru looked at people and said, "Oh, he's your brother, right?" And Elena was like, "He doesn't look like her at all." That was basically Elena's role in this episode. But we had that beautiful moment. But then we had the best moment in the episode for me, which was that talk between Lala and Madoka. Both of them were having trouble with their feelings because of them being cures and their families. So Madoka already felt that before because of everything that's been happening with her father. And now Lala's feeling that as well because she wanted to say she's a cure. Because then her parents would admire her and admire what she's doing because so far she's been doing nothing. But if she said that, she would involve the other cures in the conversation and then their lives would change, and that's totally understandable on Lala's part. Madoka also felt the same concerning her father, and especially because her father is part of the government. But Madoka said that the government could possibly defeat the Notre Dames, and I don't think so. Girl, don't you see what you're fighting against? Like, those people just appear out of nowhere. The government wouldn't be able to fight that. I'm sure of this. And then, things like that moment with Lala and Madoka was the most beautiful of this episode for me. We finally had some time for them to connect a little more and to understand each other better. But apart from that, I feel like there is another layer of the problem they did not address yet, which is the fact that Mother's choosing things for everyone and Lala's not really feeling confident about what was chosen for her. But I think that Madoka Lala moment was gold, and that's Precure gold for me. Every time we have those parts in which they share their hearts, it's so beautiful. It really got me. That moment was amazing. And then we had Tenjo appearing. Tenjo was so beautiful in this episode. She was beautifully drawn every time. And then she appeared and then she tried to steal the princess pen that was found by Lala's brother, and the girls started fighting. The biggest star of this fight was obviously Lala. she was able to use her Miyuki shock in such a strong way. She was impressive and I loved it. Even though we didn't really have a big fight or big confrontations, we had a big moment for her with the Miyuki shock. That was so intense. That was really intense, and the way she was able to overcome that was gorgeous. And I really liked how she thought of her brother and thought of how he was able to find that pen without a radar and everything. And so she was able to win. She was able to defeat a monster. Obviously, the killing blow was delivered by pure Cosmo. And even though she is like the finisher in those episodes, I feel like it's a very interesting change of pace from other seasons, how they're dealing with her, because now she's so in the background. She is just, just giving her snarky comments in special moments because she is that girl. She's just that girl now, and I really like that about Cosmo. And after that, it's interesting because we usually don't see the aftermath of battles, and then we see like the lab was destroyed, and we see the crumbles of the place, and Lala's boss was there, and he wasn't really understanding what was going on, and he saw the tape, and he didn't really understand, and he thought Lala was trying to steal the pen. Like, I don't really understand how he got into that conclusion, because he saw Tenjo at the recording. Like, why? Why did you think Lala stole the pen? I know Lala's with the pen now. And then this is like the fastest conclusion, but it's also the simplest one. Maybe it's because they don't really think things through, because they only think through AI. They don't really think. I don't know. But everyone's after Lala now, and everyone's after her friends, and they were running away from everybody because Cosmo told them to. Actually, Uni told them to, and then they were running away, and the episode ended with Iwan appearing. And so we know that Iwan is going to hack into the AI next episode, and I'm very curious to see how things are gonna go. I am really afraid of the future implications of this fact, but I know things will be alright, and then we're going to be left with only one pen because they already have the 11th pen, and I think that everything's going to be rounded up very quickly. Anyways, great episode. Please leave a comment with your thoughts on episode 29, and let's keep our talk in the comment box below. Everybody, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.